Yeah, just gotta start with Dylan, and comment on the honor he received today. And did you envision this time last year, Grant, when you walked in the door, that he could have this type of an impact as a freshman?
I knew he's going to be a special player just based off kind of how he carries himself, his character, his work ethic, what he pours into his craft every single day, on and off the field. You never envision exactly where a young man's going to be at his freshman year or even his career as far as being an All-American. But I think it's just testimony to what he's about from a character standpoint. The people that have mentored him and poured into him, and his work just spoke for itself, and that's what established him himself as a starter really after the spring when he first came in, and carried that through the summer and had a phenomenal year as a true freshman. But it's really still the beginning for him. It's about where can he take his game next. So
when you say character, can you tell us a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Yeah, I think when you talk about character, it's just first of all, consistency. He's consistent in how he handles his business on and off the field. Handles himself, from a mature standpoint. And I think his character bleeds into his work habits, right? And it's consistent work habits which bleed into his actions. And he's someone you can rely on, who pours into others. And he's resilient, he's competitive, and it all just bundles into someone who can compete at a high level, and that's what he did this past year. So,
well, when was the first time, or the first situation you realized, I think this guy can be special, he can play a lot? Everybody talked about how mature he was. Even the seniors like Sanusi Kane were blown away. Seemed to take the lead from a true freshman.
Yeah, I think what shined to me, and really Coach Walt said it too, was when we first got here, right, we're trying to figure out who everyone is, and we're going through winter workouts, mat drills, those type of things, and it was just how he approached those environments, right? He was a young guy who it wasn't too big for him, right? He was comfortable being uncomfortable. He was comfortable taking on new challenges. He wasn't afraid to compete. And seeing him from an early standpoint in the winter workouts go hand in hand with older guys or new guys didn't matter. It was just he was focused on himself, on what he needed to do to accomplish his goals. His goals was just getting through the day at first, right? Then kind of mastering that routine and getting through the week and figuring out the workouts, the practice. And that's when I really saw, okay, this guy's got a mental skill set to do something special because of how he approaches this simple task, right? Simple workouts, how he competes, and that's what stood out before he even hit the field from a football standpoint. I was like, this guy might have something special, and obviously it translated to production on the field. So,
how do you replace Sanusi and Cam?
Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of production that we lost during the season, and Sanusi was more just from a field standpoint. He was a captain, had been here a long time, had poured into a lot of guys, and so it's going to be with both losing him and Cam both is how is the room going to change from a mental standpoint, from a leadership standpoint, how's the defense going to evolve, and I'm excited to see certain guys step up from those points. I think we got guys in place to do those type of things. From a production standpoint, it's right now it's going to be a mix of pieces. Going through spring to see who's going to play, say in the slot star position, who's going to play the strong safety position, and kind of going from there. So excited to see guys compete every single day to see who kind of rises this spring.
What do you expect to step up in that leadership role we were just talking about?
At least for in the safety room, I think Dylan Thieneman and Anthony Stevens, Tone are two guys that played football. I think it always helps when you got leaders who have played and have reps. And usually it's easier to lead from a production standpoint, but they've taken over the reins of communication, expectations, those type of things. So excited about those two pieces.
Is it rare for a guy who's played 1 year of college football to be comfortable taking over a position group like Dylan has?
I think anytime you can come in early as a true freshman and have a chance in spring, I think you get used to the environment you're in. I think coming from Westfield High School, he was a great player there, had a lot of opportunity to lead there. I think he kind of came in knowing I'll have a chance to lead in some aspect. But when you do it consistently every single day, I think your peers respect you for what you're pouring into, and it speaks for itself. And so you get those platforms based off what you're doing on and off the field. And he had a great year. I think he's deserved those opportunities, and now it's what's he going to do with them. So.
How much quicker can you guys get up to speed now that it's the second year in the scheme, second year under this program, just how much more effective is communication?
Yeah, I think just like anywhere going from the first practice to the second practice, to the first game to the second game, anytime you're in the second year of really any program or whatnot, and you don't have a bunch of change. We're fortunate enough to keep both most of our staffs offensively and defensively. We got majority of our core players are back, and so hopefully we can just build off of where we finished on a high note last year, taking that momentum into spring and seeing where it can take us at the end of spring. I think we're in a good place right now from a culture standpoint, from a production standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint. Coach Rowe has done a great job in the weight room, right? And I think that's the heartbeat of the program, and that hasn't changed from year one to year two. It's only improved. So hopefully we're full steam ahead.
They're not here yet, but they were two of your biggest recruits. Coy Beasley and Luke Williams. I mean, I know it's hard to project, but could those guys?
Yeah. There's three other freshman DBs coming in. You got Coy Beasley, who's he's a talented kid in his own right. Fast, got ball skills, return skills. Luke Williams, who's a phenomenal athlete. Obviously, I think he was like Naperville North Athlete of the Year, both football and basketball. And just unbelievable range of ball skills. And then you got Ty Hutkins, he's a winner. He's a champion. He won state in football. I think he went far to districts in basketball, and then I think he's getting ready for baseball season. So those are three athletes that we're looking forward to get in here at some point in summertime from a safety standpoint, from a DB standpoint, and seeing where can they fit in, where they can come in and compete and learn and kind of pick up where we finished off in spring ball. So
Dylan mentioned that the second year, Walters told them that's kind of when his players play fast on defense and get it. Just what kind of switches flip when they get comfortable with the system?
Absolutely. I think just over all the success that we've had specifically with the DBs over the last 7 to 8 years I've been with Coach Walters. I mean, you really see the guys that flash going in their second year that have confidence in the system, run around playing fast, know the adjustments, can really go challenge themselves to make plays in space, can go challenge the football. Because they're not just playing the system. Now they're playing the play. They're playing off the quarterback. They're playing off each other, and the speed of the game will sure be a lot faster for them because now they're used to playing in that system. So I can't wait to see these guys cut loose as spring really takes forward, and as we go into the season, especially that first game coming up. I know as a secondary we're going to be playing fast and physical. So.